welcome to First Look, brought to you by the Edamame Anime Club. I'm Steve, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Squid.
Joel.
And with First Look, what we do is watch the first 2 episodes of an anime, and we decide whether you should watch it or drop it. We go through some ratings, and then we do a pros and cons, and then we do our final verdict, whether you should watch it or drop it.
Right.
And before we get started, come by. Hey, why don't you tell me what anime we're going to do?
We are doing Terminator 0.
Alright, Netflix original, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just be honest, Netflix is dropping some bangers as far as titles, but they're really going for like niche anime and pop culture references. So right now we have
Recognizable faces.
Terminator, Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other ones I'm missing?
They're coming out with Devil May Cry.
Castlevania.
There we go. So they're really just dropping like very niche anime for a really good subculture of Terminator lovers, Tomb Raider lovers, Castlevania. So
Kind of more so like video game lovers instantly.
True. Yeah.
So there's a lot that they're dropping, and there's some bangers there. But so we're gonna go over Terminator 0. I'm gonna give you the first 2 ratings. So we watched the first 2 episodes.
Right.
The episodes are all titled Model. What is it? Model 001. Is that it?
Yeah, Model 001. Episode 2 is Model 002.
No, it's 101, right? 101. Model 101.
Oh, sorry, but 2 was it
102?
Oh,
yeah.
okay, 102.
So let me get these ratings. IMDb rated season 1, episode 1, 7.0 out of 10.
Okay.
Do you concur?
I give it a 5.
I'd probably say a 5 as well.
There's a lot in here. Like, I think that it's... Okay, I'll give it a 5 as well.
You're going to try and defend
it was pretty interesting, and they had some callbacks to the films and stuff, but there wasn't a big enough wow factor, I guess, for it to hook me.
Yeah.
The setup is really slow. It didn't even seem like I was... After the first, 5-6 minutes, it didn't seem like I was watching an anime of Terminator. It was like I was just watching a slice of life or some other type of anime.
Okay.
Or post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Episode 2, what do you think it was? Just random guess.
8.3.
7.
7.1 out of 10. Yeah, I did a little better than episode 1, but as I go through this, I look at the episodes, none of them are cracking 8.0s.
Oof.
None of them. There's 8 episodes, and the highest rated one is episode 107, Model 107, episode 7 is 7.9. Mm-hmm. So, none of them cracking top 8. So, I'm not surprised by that, as far as the first 2 episodes go.
I wouldn't say I was. I'd be surprised by that.
So let's jump into some pros. I think I'm going to start off real quick. I mean, obviously the name carries weight.
Yes.
The Terminator name is a household name, very famous in the 80s, so much that it's popular even now. Mm-hmm. And it really is based on the idea of Judgment Day, which I always think is kind of cool because it's always going after the end of the world by this company, this conglomerate called Skynet, which they kept true to that.
Yeah.
And the animation, what did you think?
The animation was really good. I liked it. It was good. I mean, it reminded me kind of... It's a little bit.
I mean, to me, it was... I'm just so used to kind of just like the 2D animation, but you can tell when they use the 3D animation for it, and I'm not a big fan of it, so... Yeah,
you definitely see the CGI in there. There were some big parts, like whenever they zoom out in the very first episode, where she's on the the bridge, it zoomed out. You can tell it's CGI. The explosion, clearly CGI. So there's a lot of CGI in there, but there is a lot of good. The way they draw their characters, the details.
The lighting on the faces and the hues were really nice.
Yeah, it looked really good. I actually was very impressed with it. I know the 3D animation is kind of it's hard to get used to.
It is.
But I feel like as long as it's not as bad as Dragon Ball Superhero.
Or the Berserk 2016.
Oh, that's one, yeah.
2016, 2017.
Yeah, so I mean, it can't. As long as it's not that bad, it's fine. As long as they're using it for things like the background for certain scenes, it's totally fine with me.
Yeah.
So I think the animation was good. The music, actually, if you really just stopped and listened, they did have some undertones that really went back to the Terminator name. The dum 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 dum. Very, very. It was not as obvious, but there were certain scenes they did that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was another pro is that they're kind of giving that theme. What else we got?
I mean, I guess when it comes to like the Terminator in general, there was a big pro with like the teleportation and just keeping into the original factor of how he gets there, or like the way he's just his one goal is to get after that, get after like his target, and nothing's gonna stop him. I mean, it was really cool. The action sequences, like you could see that they tried to keep it like the movies. Like he's just his only mission, nothing will stop him. He just goes.
Yeah, I did like that. It was very. It told the same kind of story we see with Terminator. The beauty of Terminator is there's multiple storylines with Terminator.
Yeah.
You can always, because it's so many different time, because they go back in time.
Yeah.
But it still holds true to the original Terminator 1, where Arnold Schwarzenegger goes back in time.
Yes.
To kill his main target, and then Sarah Connor is like trying to stop him. So it's still held true to that extent.
And that's what it feels like in this one.
For episode 1 and 2, at least.
Yes.
We don't know. It could go in a whole other direction.
No, that's true. But in first 1 and 2, it seems like they took using different types of characters, but keeping that structure.
Yeah, I thought it was.
And even just messing with time, there could be just multiple timelines. So, this could go anywhere.
Yeah.
With messing with time.
No, agreed. And again, I like that. But any other pros? Because I'm about to shit on this anime. Sorry.
No, I'm kind of tapped on the pros, honestly.
The only other pro I think I can say is I had one more pro. Oh man, and I can't even think. I guess that's how much not a pro was.
I mean, I like that they didn't try to cut it with the language. There's some cuss words in there. They're not trying to keep it specifically, I guess, rated to PG or whatever. It's rated, I think, mature, and
probably
they're using the language, and it's not like abundant, like a bunch of cuss words. It's spread out in the right moments, like the dialogue.
Who's Rosario Dawson's in it?
She is the.
I couldn't catch her voice.
She's the AI.
She's the AI voice.
Oh wow, that was
the one that was created against
Kokoro or something like that.
Yeah, the one that was created against Skynet.
Got it.
There's in the beginning you can't really tell, but then when she starts getting more, aggressive with her speech about taking over, but not necessarily taking over, like why she sees it, you can tell it's her voice.
I could not. Yeah.
And that's how I thought too, because in the beginning of the episode, I was like,
her? Yeah, I was trying to figure out who it was.
It doesn't even sound like her. And then the more you get to hear her talk, the more you kind of like pick up on her voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That was the other I mean, I love when I see household names in an anime, especially like Studio Ghibli has a bunch of household names.
Yeah.
So to see Rosario Dawson being in this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any other pros.
Apart from the gore. The gore was pretty nice.
Oh yeah, they're not holding back, which is good.
Yeah. You're actually right, because actually the opening sequence is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was actually pretty. That opening fight scene was really good, because it really showed that a Terminator is just not gonna stop.
Yeah, there's like no defeating it.
Yeah.
If you're human, it's just you're done. You're done.
Yeah, and which really I like, because I mean you can tell that they've never even been that close to a Terminator before they died, because she extracts some data from them by stabbing in the eye. They obviously have never done that before.
No.
She was the first one to do that, so I think that was really cool. Like, now they have the data, now they really looked at what they're planning. They
the guy asking for help couldn't even know that he was a Terminator, and then he's
somewhat getting a step ahead of them.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really the early aftermath of everything.
So the intro, like the opening cutscene of the fight, was really good. I was very impressed with that, and it actually makes it seem like that's going to be the whole movie. The whole anime is going to be them like fighting these Terminators in that style.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's get these cons. I'll let y'all go first since I've been talking all the time.
I mean, it was only the first 2 episodes, but it was just very like drawn out at some points where it's like, okay, I get what you're trying to set up here, but like, let's go, like, let's get something else, something new. And just, it was getting kind of, not repetitive, but like just, I was losing interest. I was just getting bored.
Yeah, I think it was just going too in depth of definitely you'll have to just, this is one of those animes that you're just going to have to kind of spend time to really, I guess, focus on the details of it, of what, I guess, how it all started and what's going on for, I guess, every single character. But to me, it was taking too long. It was strung out. And although the action sequences were pretty cool, some of the accidents or gore sequences that happened, but it was just being too strung out for me to kind of just hook me and like get a grasp on it for me to want to watch more of it.
Yeah, I dozed off for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That actually
I have to wake you up. I have to wake you up.
He made me wake up. That's how this anime was. It was just a lot of dialogue. It hits you with this beautiful fight sequence, and then a lot of dialogue. There's no real investment with any of the characters yet. Only person that we really could invest with is Malcolm, and let's be honest, he's kind of an asshole.
I couldn't even invest in Malcolm. I invested with the AI because her rant was beautiful. It was great.
Yeah.
I feel like I couldn't even really invest in Malcolm either because it was just kind of like a
cryptic.
Shitty father, but like a businessman, and then like he wasn't even going anywhere with what he was trying to accomplish. You're right. Yeah, the whole monologue with him, like I want to trust you, but I don't. Like the lack of trust. I agree. Like there was a lot that played into that, but yeah, the monologue was good for the AI, for Rosario Dawson doing a great job. But really, I didn't like the. I just could not. Maybe it's a personal issue. I always like to self-insert in an anime. I don't think I could self-insert. You know who I would self-insert as the robot cashier, or the robot store clerk that ignores the lady? That's me right there, just zoning out. Like I couldn't relate to any of these. So honestly, there's no characters you really can relate with. I do have some empathy for the main character that goes back in time. Do we get a name for her?
No,
I don't even
know.
know.
We got a name, but I don't remember.
Sure there's a name in there, but it was not said. That's how
They said it once or twice before she teleported, but she had such little importance from what it was showing before she was teleported. Like, it's all in the future, so like you only see the few scenes.
I mean, I guess so, because the old woman was like, you don't have a fucking what is it called, destiny.
Yeah.
I think her name is Ikiai. I know there's an E and I and a K in it. We'll just leave it at that. That's how I understood. So there was a lot that played into this that I just could not keep up. As far as I didn't want to keep up, I was not interested. And I love Terminator. And I think when you come to this, if you're a Terminator fan, and again, there's two sides of this. You have a Terminator fan that's open and optimistic, that's going to love this anime, telling a new story. And you're going to have someone come in like, that didn't happen in the movie.
Or more just into the lore of like just the Terminator series in general, that they might hook onto them and, bring them into this anime. But for me, I just didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was about to start getting to the last segment.
No, I was going to say, like, I mean, it seems like it's gonna pick up by episode 5 or 6. We were saying how 7 is the highest rated, but it shouldn't have to be that long to pick up. I mean, your first episode, maybe even into your second, should be, of course, building world building, setting up for the anime, but then you have to have something that grips people by that time. Nothing really gripped me. Like, the only interesting part was when he attacks him while she's teleporting, or when the AI is explaining why it's siding with the Terminator, but also not. But why it's agreeing with it, and why Malcolm is in the wrong. So, like, all that was interesting, but then everything else was drawn out. The kids is supposed to be important, but it's like, okay, what's going on here? Like, what is the main point?
Yeah, and, I mean, again, 107, episode 7 is the best episode with a 7.9. I'll tell you right now, if it takes 7 episodes to get even, like, not even out of the 7s.
Out of how many episodes?
It's 8.
8 episodes?
So,
and that's the other thing. Is it supposed to be a one and done, or is it not? Because, like, if it's a one and done, then what the hell are y'all even doing here? It's got to be faster than that.
Again, anime that are one and done are fine with me. Especially when you have something like Terminator or Tomb Raider. One and done is fine. Because they could always come back later.
Right.
Yeah.
But to me, some of the best anime I ever watched are one and done. Death Note is one and done. I know people say, oh, that's 2 seasons. No, it's before L and after L. Let's just leave it at that. And then you have, Erase, Parasite, Elfen Lied, all 1 season anime, and they have a great story to tell, and they're fine. So I don't necessarily think this needs a part 2 if it does have one. I don't know. I'm probably not going off the ratings.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and wrap this up. I'll go first. I'm going to drop it. I want to watch it because I love Terminator, but I know I'm not. I'm just going to be totally transparent.
I'm going to drop it as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a hot take here, boys. No, I'm kidding. As much as I do want to kind of watch it, and just to see if it gets better, and like, maybe has some kind of redemption, chances are I'm probably never gonna fucking watch it again. Or it's gonna be, I don't know, a year from now, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? Let's go for it. Like they're gonna announce a season 2 or something. Like, you know what? Let me see if it was worth it then. But as of like within the next 6 months, highly doubt I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna drop it.
If a season 2 drops, I'll finish it.
Right? It's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
maybe. I don't know.
Then okay, it was good enough to like warrant a season 2, so maybe it gets better.
Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. You have our reviews, our pros and cons, whether you should watch it or drop it. Let us know if you guys watch it, and if we should watch it. If enough people convince us, we'll do a full review on Terminator Zero. All right, that's all I have here, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Yeah, get rid of that G-force thingy. How many minutes was that?